Hola, bienvenidos. Mi nombre es Abril García y a continuación les presentaremos el primer programa de una serie de entrevistas con expertos del sector salud que tocarán temas con respecto a la vacuna contra el COVID-19. Un espacio traído a ustedes por el Departamento de Salud del Condado de Douglas y la Casa del Pueblo. En esta ocasión contaremos con la presencia de la doctora Adipur. Ella es la directora del Departamento de Salud del Condado de Douglas desde el 2002. Antes de eso, la doctora Pur fue toxicóloga del Estado con el Departamento de Salud y Servicios Humanos de Nebraska durante 13 años. Ella tiene una maestría y un doctorado en toxicología de la UNMC y es una científico revisor de la Asociación Estadounidense de Salud Pública. La doctora Pur ha sido una líder probada en el establecimiento de un sistema de salud público local en todo el estado. Sus áreas de interés son aumentar la conciencia de la comunidad sobre los principales problemas de salud pública, construir asociaciones comunitarias con entidades del sector público y privado e incrementar los programas locales y del Departamento de Salud para eliminar la disparidad de salud. Aquí les presentamos la entrevista.
Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Adipur. You have been the director of the Douglas County Health Department for 18 years, right? Mm-hmm. What has been your biggest challenge of being the director?
You know, there have been many challenges over time, but I think what I realized early on that there were health disparities in our community. Meaning individuals in our minority community didn't have the same access and actually suffered from some underlying illnesses more so than our white community. So I wanted to change that, but it takes a long time to make changes on that. But that's probably still one of our biggest issues we have in this community. You know, this is a fabulous town, a lot of different cultures and so on. But we need to make sure that we are including everyone in all the programming that we are doing.
What will you think has been the toughest decision you had to make during this pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, there are lots of decisions we had to make, but probably the most difficult one was for me that public health was suddenly now looked through the eyes of politics. And so I always had to consider what are individuals saying. So it is very tough for me, and probably to a certain degree the mask mandate was the most difficult one because it seemed to be pulling people apart, and that is something that I don't want to. I want people all to work together for a healthy community, and I didn't like to see that people suddenly argued about wearing masks or not, something so simple to protect our community. So I would say that those were difficult times. Mm-hmm.
About the COVID vaccine, can you run some percentages of how many people have been vaccinated here in Douglas County?
Yes, I can. I actually just looked at our dashboard before I came, and that's why I probably was a minute late. So 40% of the individuals that are eligible for a vaccine have received at least one shot. 40%. I mean, think about it. That is fabulous. And 25% of our community has been fully vaccinated. So every fourth individual who is eligible has been fully vaccinated. People 16 and older can register for an appointment. That doesn't mean that there are all these appointments available for everybody at the same time, but we'll open it up for everyone because we feel it is so important. And you know, we have more vaccine now than we had before. We still don't have the amount that we would really like, but we want to make sure that every appointment is being used. So I'm really excited to see that younger people now can receive the vaccine.
That is amazing. When do you think children will be able to get the vaccine?
So you are potentially going to see those 12 to 16 is going to be the next group, because those trials are now ending, and what they are seeing is the effectiveness of the vaccine. So once that data has been reviewed by the FDA, they are going to go forward and ask for EUA approval, and then I would think potentially in summer we could see vaccinating those individuals. Now, those below, lower than 12 years of age, that is going to take some time, and that I think will be done in chunks too. So you will see certain age ranges, 5 or 6 to 12, and then you will see the very little one. So, but for those age ranges, I would think it may be 2022.
Okay. Okay. This week, the Douglas County Department issued a statement about the cases going up here in Douglas County. Is this like, are we talking about a third wave of COVID, or what does this spike means for the county?
I don't know if I want to call it a wave, but I would call it a concern that we are really seeing the cases increasing, and we are seeing a lot of variants in our community now too, and we know those variants are higher transmissibility. And also what we are seeing is interesting. We are seeing mainly in the 20 to 49 years old. So those are the individuals who on a day like today are probably going to a restaurant, are probably congregating together, but have not been vaccinated yet, and probably think, oh, everything is well, we can take the masks off. And for those, I would just say, hang on a little bit longer. We are going to get there, and our cases need to decrease in our community.
Okay. What are the efforts or strategies that the health department is doing to get the community Latino involved getting the vaccine?
Yes, so we are having some great community partners in South Omaha, and Ben Salazar is one of them, and you know, he's really trying to think outside of the box. What is best for my community, and how is my community going to receive the information? And so he's going to do a big campaign in the supermercados, and also I think outside in kind of the square that you have down on 24th Street, to really let people know that they need to get vaccinated and help them register potentially. Also, you know, we do have the new site on 35th and L Street in the Stockyard Plaza, and that site can actually do close to 3,000 vaccines a day when we are open. And there is a huge sign when people drive on L Street that says vaccine clinic and an arrow that goes in that direction. So I hope that it reminds everyone who goes back home or goes to work, oh, I need to schedule an appointment. And those who don't have internet access, I don't want that to be a barrier. They should call 402-444-3400. And people will be there, and we have Spanish individual answering the phone to assist people to make an appointment right then and there when they are calling. So all the barriers should go away. One World is doing excellent work too in really making sure that the vaccine goes to our community.
Do you know the percentage of the Latino community that have been vaccinated?
Yes, I do. And I'm looking at that data very, very closely. So at this time, there are 6.5% of the Hispanic population that has gotten the first shot. The same thing for our African American community. So, you know, we have a ways to go. We need to really encourage individuals to get vaccinated. This is a safe vaccine, and it helps us going back to normal again.
Do you think that the Latino community is hesitant to take the vaccine, or why these numbers are low?
You know, I'm not quite sure. I do think you saw probably a little bit an eagerness in the white population to get online immediately and get vaccinated, whereby I'm not sure if some of the Hispanic population or also African Americans have said, well, let's wait a little bit. It's not so quick that we need to get vaccinated. But you know, we went in all the meatpacking plants and the food processing plants, and we vaccinated directly in the plant so that those individuals did not need to take off from work and so on. So we are moving along pretty quickly, and I just hope that we are going to see the percentage increase.
Okay. What can you tell the Latino community about the vaccine, and what would be that message?
What I would say, we have 3 vaccines on the market. We have two vaccines that require 2 doses, the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine. And we have a 3rd vaccine, which is Johnson & Johnson, that only requires 1 dose. But I would say to everyone, these are 3 excellent vaccines. All 3 of them are 100% protective for hospitalization or individuals that potentially could die. So whatever vaccine is available for you and works with your schedule, go and please get that vaccine.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any recommendations to the people that already got the vaccine? Because sometimes we tend to think that everything is going to be back to normal right away, but do you have any kind of recommendations to
So,
them?
well, one of the efforts we need to remind ourselves, immunity doesn't just happen once you have the vaccine. It takes a little bit time for your body to form antibodies. So we are saying about 2 weeks after the 2nd shot or 2 weeks after the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, that's when your immunity is probably at the fullest. So from then on, what does that mean? It still means that if you are out in the community and in congregated living or congregated, let's say a party or something where a lot of different people are coming together, in those events you should wear a mask. You should still try to keep social distance.
Doctor, when do you think we're going to be back to normal, or normal will be different from now on, I guess?
Yeah, that's a question we get so often. And one of the things is we need to have enough individuals vaccinated in our community that we have kind of a safety factor in our community. That may take until summer, so to say. And we also need to make sure that we don't see any increase in our variants and cases. So both of those things played together. We can do it. There are already nations that have done it successfully, and I'm sure in Omaha we can do it too.
Mm-hmm. Doctor, do you want to add something that you think we missed of the interview?
I don't think so. I mean, I just think we are cautious. We are going to look forward to a summer where we at least can be outside. That's another thing. If you have the choice, you can eat outside or inside the home. Please choose outside. I think outside is so much safer, and we can do it now. We never could make those recommendations in wintertime. It was too cold. So let's make sure, and honestly, if you have anybody that is ill or that is COVID positive, we still need to do the quarantine and the isolation. Don't let the guard down. Those public health interventions still are so important.
Agradecemos la colaboración de la doctora Adipur para la realización de esta entrevista. Recuerde, la vacuna contra el COVID es segura, gratuita y funciona. Proteja a su familia. Hasta la próxima.